This evening on House and Home, Chef Barry is back in our House and Home kitchen cooking up some Zinag chicken sticky honey and lime. Pims are back with more on education options. Origin Gas Talk continue with the 8-block safety campaign with lifting your gas cylinder safely. We continue with more cooking with Besta, making Besta tuna avocado, and there's more great quality bites to share, all available at Brown Bell. Hello everyone and a lovely evening to you all. So glad that you could join us once again for another episode of House and Home. We're in the month of March, can you believe? And I have to admit the time's flying pretty fast for my liking. The quicker the day goes, the quicker we'd be done with another year. I don't know about you, but I've got lots of things I'd like to see through before the end of the year. But with the days going as fast as they are, I may end up having to see some of those things I've set for myself come to completion by next year. I hope most of you are doing better and are right on target with your set goals. Moving on with the show, let's head on over to our House and Home kitchen and join Chef Barry on Zinag Cooking for another great recipe. You're not going to want to miss this one. See you shortly.
Good night to all viewers. Welcome again to Narpla Zinag Cooking Show tonight. Now tonight I'm cooking Zinag chicken sticky honey and lime. We're using Zinag chicken breast 700 grams tray pack. Okay, all Zinag chicken we choosing because meatier, tastier and juicier. Okay, now by me showing you all ingredients. By me working Zinag chicken sticky lime and honey. We got 2 tablespoons oil. We got 1 tablespoon garlic. 1 tablespoon ginger. We got 2 tablespoons honey. 3 tablespoons oyster sauce. 1 tablespoon lime. We got half cup water. Okay, we got 1 black carrot. We cut the lily goes and finish. Now 1 black onion. Okay, now we got lemons low. We decorate in Zinag chicken blame. Okay, now you can look in Zinag chicken breast. Then we pull up load meat. Okay, now premium quality cuts with Zinag chicken. So you can enjoy what the family blue. This is the Zinag chicken breast. You can cook him lo kind way in a style blue. You can work him lo barbecue, you can work him roast, or you can even work him aigir blue. Okay, now by me start. Okay, first we put in frying pan lo oil now, by hot now, by me put in garlic, the ginger blue me go inside. Now frying pan blue me hot now, by me put in oil go inside. Okay, spread him so I'm go look at the frying pan. You made him garlic blue me go inside. Ginger. Okay, you stir him. Okay, time you cook ko na by me mo Zinag chicken breast blame go inside. Okay, this time apply this recipe. Now Zinag chicken work cook ko na by me onions go inside. So you can give more flavor of Zinag chicken breast. Okay, carrots. Now we'll cook now by made him 2 liglig lemons. So you can give him the lemon flavor. Now by me turn him on Zinag chicken breast. Okay. Now you can finish now by me adding more sauces blame go inside. Okay. Honey go inside. Okay, spread him around the chicken so flavor of honey can go inside. Zinag chicken blame. Okay, we got oyster sauce. Lemon juice. Okay, now water blame. Okay, now by me spread him good salt sauces by one side of Zinag chicken breast blame good. Now by me lucy motion and by cook lily ginap. Let me cook okay by me roast him. Viewers, Zinag chicken breast blame looks ready now by me adding more pak choy 2 lord. Lilik pot water when we boil and finish. I'm all pak choy blame me and cook finish now by me add him Zinag chicken breast blame me one time go inside. Right now, paksa blame cook na by me. Rasim lo wara na by me put on the plate. Okay, the same. Okay, zinek chicken breast blame to him ready now. By me add him on the plate now. So now by me add him on sticky honey and lime sauce blame me on top low. On zinek chicken breast blame me. Viewers, you can look him sticky zinek chicken with honey and lime where you using zinek chicken breast. Zinek chicken Mr. choosing because I'm meatier, tastier and juicier.
Chef Barry, you've outdone yourself again with that mouth-watering recipe. I'm certain you have got quite a lot of our viewers out there smacking their lips together, salivating at the look of that presentation. Well, it's not helping me any as my senses are doing a number on me, making me believe that I can smell the dish from here. I think we need to take a quick breather here, but after the break, Norman joins us this evening with more on education options. See you soon.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome once again to this, the 14th PIMS episode on House and Home. You know, there is a fundamental truth, a fundamental fact of human life. That truth or fact is that financial problem is the root cause of all social problems, social disorders, and crime in our towns and cities. Indeed, for the rest of the world too. Regrettably, unfortunately, and worryingly, many people steal, they kill and commit other crimes that seriously affect fellow human beings and citizens out of necessity. The necessity to make ends meet, the necessity to put food on the table to feed the family. Oftentimes, people who commit such crimes do so not because they want to, but because they have to do it to survive. How many of our beloved citizens, relatives, friends from all walks of life have we lost, falling victims to such petty necessity crimes gone wrong? The number one and most important job and responsibility for any government is to provide the environment, the platform, and the conditions of empowerment so that all citizens have the opportunity, ability, and the capacity to earn or create wealth for their sustainability and well-being. As a country, we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot, so to speak, when so much public money is lost due to corruption, misuse, mismanagement, and fraud. This affects and diminishes our ability and capacity to provide the environment, the institutions, and the conditions of empowerment so that many more citizens are engaged to help themselves. The implications of too many citizens becoming disengaged, excluded, not participating in the economy, and without the capacity to earn or create wealth are too obvious. If the compulsory education policy fully takes effect in the next 2 years, say, we will see the first full batch of students passing out of grade 12 under the policy by 2018-2020. By then, the number of grade 12 school leavers who will not find places in any of our traditional tertiary institutions will most likely surpass the 100,000 mark, a troublesome, worrying, and disturbing statistic, especially in the context that the majority of these miss-out students will be high-expecting grade 12 leavers. With numbers like this, it is not difficult to see the looming challenges on our hands. In a few years' time, not only will we have a major problem trying to provide continuing education opportunities for these thousands of school leavers, but also a major problem of trying to find employment for them, a double challenge of some proportion and magnitude that will require serious early planning and strategizing to deal with them. Let us look at the potential unemployment problem. The usual players that provide employment opportunities are the following. Number one, government. Number two, industry and companies. Number three, private organizations and churches. Number four, SMEs or small businesses. I would like to add a fifth group to the above list who can also create employment opportunities for our people. and that is the educated elites of our country. They are the ones with the knowledge, expertise, skills and experience who can do much more for our people and country if they choose to do so. They are more well placed than any other group of citizens because of their knowledge and expertise. It will be a case of all hands on deck if we are to confront and manage the looming educational, social and development challenges that is almost staring us in our faces. Government and industry all combined probably cannot do all on their own. We cannot keep kicking the can down the road, so to speak, and expect that some future generation or miracle will take place to deal with these challenges. So what role and how much can our educated, knowledgeable and experienced elites contribute in this respect? Much and plenty is my answer. And we surely need their contributions in a big way more than ever. Mind you, it will take deliberate choices and sacrifices from our educated elites. Nobody can be obliged or forced to do anything. But as the saying goes, desperate times require desperate measures. Necessity will dictate that we be more proactive, more innovative, and more bold to meet our challenges. It will take courage, sacrifice, and commitment, and a deliberate let go of our comfort zones of well-paid jobs to take those bold steps into the unknown and start up ventures, enterprises, projects, consultancies, and activities that can provide opportunities and financial benefits to many more of our citizens. The question is, how many of us elites are prepared to take that step and leave our comfort zones? In these desperate times, a change of mindset is needed. More of us elites must start to become opportunity creators rather than just opportunity seekers. More of us should become job creators rather than just job seekers. I just think that if we educated elites of this country continue to lie back in our comfort zones and hope that our development challenges and problems will work themselves out sooner or later, we may have a very long time to wait. Sometimes the only way to solve our problems is if we start helping ourselves. In closing, late enrollment opportunities still exist at all our PIM centers as well as the new NSI, the Norman Sike Institute. And as we've been mentioning, students who complete grade 10 or 12 secondary studies at PIMS or other schools can transit directly to do tertiary level diploma courses of their choice at NSI. Currently, PIMS has centers in NCD, Ley, Medang, Wewak, Kavieng, Manus, and Wabag. The usual PIMS secondary level courses are number 1, grade 9 to 12 formal secondary, number 2, pre-11 secondary bridging course, number 3, pre-matriculation, number 4, adult matriculation, number 5, grade 12 upgrading, number 6, extra skills in business and computing, and number 7, correspondence studies. On the other hand, the NSI tertiary level diploma courses will be offered in the selected centers of NCD, Ley, Medang, Kavieng, and Wabag. The NSI diploma courses are pre-diploma bridging course, diploma in accounting, diploma in business management, diploma in human resource management, diploma in sales and marketing, diploma in computer science, diploma in mathematics, and correspondence studies. For further information and application forms for both PIMS and NSI courses nationwide, please contact the following addresses on the screen. PIMS NCD, PO Box 775, Baroko, NCD. Phone 325-4815, mobile 727-33345, 710-68149, or 704-64121. The email address for PIMS is pimsinfor@gmail.com, and the PIMS website is www.pims.ac.pg if you want for easy information and application form downloads. The email for the Norman Sike Institute NSI is nsiinfor@gmail.com. To conclude, to all you viewers who are watching, and in particular fellow elites, I want to say this, that trying to self-start new ventures and initiatives that can ultimately provide opportunities and benefit for others will take courage, boldness, and commitment. It can be trying, challenging, difficult, and seemingly unrewarding at times. Believe me, I've been through it. There is always the possibility of failure. However, even if we fail, if our deepest intention is to help fellow citizens and the country in its problems, we will be content, we will be satisfied, and we will be at peace, knowing that we have put up our hand and tried to the best of our ability. Once again, I thank you all for your attention tonight. Till we meet again in 2 weeks' time for another PIMS episode, it's good night to you all. Have a safe and good week. Thank you.
Thanks again, Norman and the staff of Port Moresby Institute of Matriculation Studies. It is education institutions such as yourselves that provide hope for a second chance for our dropouts to get one step closer to reaching their goals for a brighter future. Coming up after the break, it's Origin Gas Talk, continuing with the 8-block safety campaign.
Hello viewers, I am Henry Maipu and thank you once again for joining us on another episode of Origin Gas Talk. We continue with our 8-block awareness of our Safety with Gas campaign. We've already covered why cook with gas in our second segment. And last week, we demonstrated the correct way of connecting your gas safely and disconnecting your gas safely without either problem arises or for simple need of just refilling your gas bottle. In this episode of Origin Gas Talk, we will go through and demonstrate certain ways on how you should lift your gas cylinder safely without causing injury to yourself or to others. Now, before we get straight into it, let's have a look at the different sizes that are available, especially for use within the home, domestic use, or supplied for commercial usage. You will find in a number of households these various sizes of gas cylinders: a 4.5 kg, 9 kg, and the 13 kg. All depending on your frequent use of gas, you can choose from the cylinders available, the preferred size of gas cylinder that suit your lifestyle best. Our LP gas is available nationwide from our depot, authorized dealers, and leading hardware stores. Now, continuing on with our 8 blocks of safety awareness, lifting your gas safely. Be aware that all gas cylinders carry a weight. Depending on the size, the larger the cylinder, the heavier it will be. It becomes a whole lot heavier, especially when the gas cylinder is full. We are going to note some pointers for you to follow through to avoid unwanted injuries. Whenever you are loading or unloading a gas cylinder, it is a must that you keep your spine as straight as possible and only bend your knees. Do not bend your back. Bending your back in the process of lifting and unloading a heavy item may result in straining your back muscles, causing a back injury. With a small cylinder, you may need to be inclined to lift the gas cylinder with one hand. When doing this, you would need to support yourself with your other hand by placing that hand on the right thigh to support yourself as you push up. By doing this, most of your weight is distributed and gives more comfort. You should never use one hand to lift without supporting yourself. In the process of moving your gas bottle, you will need to avoid overreaching or straining. To do so, keep your feet close to the cylinder and bend at the knees. Don't try to reach over, in any case, in a standing position. Take note that smaller cylinders such as a 4.5 kg, 9 kg, and 13 kg need to be carried. This requires you to use your safe handling techniques. This means to carry with palms facing forward. It is always wiser to have assistance to carry the cylinder from either side of the gas bottle, but the same rules apply. These are very simple and practical steps on correct ways to lift and carry your gas bottle. These are quite easy to follow. If you would like a copy of this flyer, please call Origin office. The contact details are appearing on the screen. Also, last week you would have seen our Origin Gas Talk episode brought to you from Origin House Cook at Courts. You can call in there as we have flyers made available there, or visit our nearest depot closest to you. Also, if you would like to catch this particular segment or our past segments of Origin Gas Talk on House and Home, you can log on to MTV website www.mtv.com.pg to view this episode or episodes prior. Origin Energy has been in the energy business for over 40 years, saving the people of PNG. I mentioned earlier in the show that our LP gas is available nationwide. We are present in Port Moresby, Lae, Rabaul, Kavieng, Alatau, Goroka, and Mount Hagen. Thank you again, viewers, for joining me on another episode of Origin Gas Talk. I look forward to your company once again next time, where we continue on our 8-block safety awareness campaign. Because of the nature of the product, LP gas, Origin prides on safety as the core value, and we feel socially responsible as a corporate citizen to extend this culture of our customers and, of course, you, our valued viewers. Also remember to keep a lookout for Uncle Gasman appearance at any of our Origin LP gas dealer. And remember, LP gas, life made easier. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Henry. Lifting those cylinders can be quite strenuous. Anything just as heavy or heavier is just as strenuous. That was some very useful advice there, and lifting by using your legs or by bending at the knees does protect you from back injury. So remember that the next time you find yourself needing to lift and carry a heavy object, regardless it be a cylinder, a box, or even helping another carry a washing machine, a fridge, or a heavy bookshelf or case, always think safety first at all times. Coming up after the break, Bill Neal introduces you to RATSAC. See you in a moment.
Hey, hey, Mr. B.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to another Brian Bell segment on House and Home. I'm your host for the evening, Bill Neal. There are so many insects that annoy you when you are trying to live a peaceful life at home. Mosquitoes buzzing in your ears, moths randomly bumping into your face as you walk past the light bulb, cockroaches scurrying on the kitchen floor, and nowadays the new and improved cockroaches are flying. That's just insects. What about rodents? Those big ugly rats somehow have the blueprints to your house and know every corner of it better than you do. You can't catch them because they're fast and elusive, and when you do have them cornered, you're scared to do anything because they're big, scary looking, and let's face it, who wants to touch a rat anyway? Tonight, I introduce you to RATSAC, the perfect rat bait to lure your furry little foe when he's ransacking your kitchen for food. Rats traditionally get a bad rap due to a few main reasons. History tells us that the Black Plague, one of the most devastating pandemics in human history, resulting in the deaths of an estimated 75 to a whopping 200 million people, peaking in Europe many years ago. Now, whether it's true or not, rats were blamed for helping spread this disease. Yes, rats spread disease, and it is because of this reason that since the Black Plague till now, civilization has been trying to rid their homes of these dreaded creatures. Who wants an unwanted guest in their home spreading disease? I certainly don't. So without further ado, let me explain how RATSAC works so that you can see for yourself why it's a better, safer, and more effective option for getting rid of rats. Introducing the RATSAC professional range for fast-acting and effective control of rat and mice populations in and around agricultural, industrial, commercial, domestic, and public service buildings. RATSAC professional pellets and all-weather wax blocks are an anticoagulant bait containing Brodiophycum, which kill rats and mice in a single feeding. The unique formula is particularly effective for hard-to-control rat populations. RATSAC professional pellets and wax blocks are ready to use, single-feed lethal dose product for the control of rats and mice in and around agricultural, industrial, commercial and domestic buildings. The blocks can be used both inside and outside. The formulation allows baiting in damp areas as well as dry locations. Now you know what they do. I'll tell you a tip to bait rats. The most effective way to keep a facility rodent-free is to stop rats and mice before they enter a building. A baiting program set up along the exterior perimeter of buildings acts as a first line of defense against evading rodents. RATSAC containers come in different sizes to suit your needs. Its features are fast-acting, single-feed lethal dose, controlled species resistant to warfarin. Warfarin has been used since 1948 as a pesticide to kill rats. Contains a bittering agent which makes it taste and smell extremely bitter so that young children are not likely to inhale or eat the rat poison. This brings me to my next point. One of the downsides in the past of using other rat poison around the house was that little children could mistake it for lollies, chocolate, or in their inquisitive nature consume the rat bait. This is obviously not what you want. RATSAC containers are accompanied with bait stations. This dispenser, or station as they call it, makes it safe and keeps it away from inquisitive children, and it attracts the rats. As I said, Ratsack sets a perimeter around the house that discourages rodents. You can also set up Ratsack inside the house in areas where rats frequent. Here is how you use these pellets. Do not exceed 3 meters between bait stations for mice, or 9 meters for rats. Do not place bait stations in the open. Do not apply bait to crops. Set out bait in places frequented by mice and rats, but no more than 2 meters from buildings. For rats, place 50 to 100 grams of pellets per station. 4 to 6 grams will kill a rat. Place these stations in 1 or 2 locations at intervals of 5 to 9 meters apart in infested areas. For mice, place 50 grams of pellets per station. Less than 1 gram will kill a mouse, in several locations at intervals of 2 to 3 meters apart in infested areas. Precaution: you should keep away from food utensils, or places where food is prepared or stored. It is poisonous if swallowed. Do not touch the bait. Use scoop or a measure. Do not inhale the dust, and if it does touch your skin after baiting, wash thoroughly with soap and water. Baiting strategy for effective control. 1. Remove as far as practical all alternative food sources. 2. Place pellets in bait stations under cover, along walls or rafters, in dark sheltered spots where there are signs of rodent activity. Signs of rodent activity: in drains, suspended bait stations from manholes by wire, or placed in such a manner so that bait will not be washed into water supplies. 4. Record the number and location of placements for later replenishment and or for removal. Number 5. You have to inspect these traps daily, replacing eaten bait and increasing the number of placements if it is eaten quickly, because most rodents' deaths occur 4 to 7 days after consumption of this bait, but it is necessary to continue the baiting process for at least 2 weeks longer until no more of the bait is taken. Look for dead rats and mice. Burn or bury them. Do not place them in rubbish bins. 6. Once effective control has been achieved, remove the bait stations. Storage and disposal. Store in the closed original container in a cool, well-ventilated area. Do not store for prolonged periods in direct sunlight. The wax blocks are very similar in the way they are used, except for a few minor adjustments in dosage rates and the distance from buildings. All the directions can be found in the back of the Ratsack containers, so it's easy to administer and get rid of the sinister. Ratsack. Sack those rats like they do the quarterbacks. Touchdown at your nearest Brian Bell home centers, because great products, great prices. That is Brian Bell. See you all next week. Good night.
Best price, best quality, guaranteed at Brian Bell.
Right on, Mr. B.
More on House and Home in a moment with Vesta, so stay with us.
It's the tastiest tuna in a can. It's the new Besta Tuna Chunks in 185 grams. Packed with 100% premium white meat goodness. The finest export quality tuna is now available nationwide in oil and brine. Besta Tuna Chunks and Bestia, proudly PNG made.
Good night, Olgeta. Now welcome Lonara Plus Show, Blo Cooking with Besta. Tonight, by me cooking or preparing Besta Tuna Avocado. Besta tuna avocado, ino one pla hot pla recipe lo making, na mi one pla easy pla recipe. So in front of me, you me got 2 pla peppers chopped, half fresh cup cilantro, 1 tablespoon lemon juice, 1 tablespoon lime juice, 1 tablespoon chili powder. You may got 1 cup of chopped onion, 1 cup of chopped tomatoes, 2 ripe or medium avocados, and our main ingredient, Besta tuna chunks in oil, in 185 grams. Okay, now by me start putting, adding pastem lemon, go inside lo this la tuna blayumi. And then lime juice blayumi, put him lick chili, tanim lick. Then And you may add in tomato bleu, onion, put the avocado bleu go inside. Okay, pepper bleu, na cilantro on top. Okay viewers, you looking display how besta tuna avocado bleu should look awesome. You may mix him ogata one time now. Mix him good so ogata ingredients bleu by mix good. Besta tuna chunks in oil and brine. I mean Mupla product of International Food Corporation. Now you can buy them anywhere, supermarkets. Besta tuna is a good source of protein too. So now you're looking Besta tuna avocado. Okay viewers, display how Besta tuna avocado bleu by Lucasem. Alright, me using avocado shell here, lo serving avocado mixture blonde. This mixture can serve in 4 man. Nothing in, me using Besta tuna chunks in oil, lo preparing this Besta tuna avocado. Okay viewers, now you're looking Besta tuna avocado. Thank you for watching this program. Now hope you joining me again next week, same time, lo cooking with Besta. It's better, it's Besta, pride of PNG.
It's the tastiest tuna in a can. It's the new Besta tuna chunks in 185 grams, packed with 100% premium white meat goodness. The finest export quality tuna is now available nationwide in oil and brine. Besta tuna chunks and Bestia, proudly PNG made.
Avocado, also known as avocado pear or alligator pear, is one of the most recommended fruits as well as a food for bodybuilding and medicine for cholesterol-related heart diseases. It's known as the world's healthiest fruit because of its nutrients such as vitamin K, dietary fiber, potassium, folic acid, vitamin B6, vitamin C, copper, and the reasonable calories the fruit holds. There are more than 80 varieties of avocados, and for some odd reason, quite a few people assume that avocados are fattening because they contain a high amount of fat. In fact, they do contain fat, but they're actually good fats, and avocados can keep you fuller for longer. They also have the potential in reducing anxiety and stress, and also avocado has been known to be very good for the skin as well. Avocado is always great to include in salads, just as you saw a while ago in Cooking with Besta. We go for a short break and we'll be back with more on House and Home. Welcome back. We're just about reached the end of our show for this week. Next week on House and Home, Dr. Ambi talks on the topic of education on mental health. PNG Fire Services promote fire safety. Our Besta mum Miriam cooks up Besta mackerel with cheese on Cooking with Besta, and it's more great quality bars to share over at Brian Bell. Now before I go, I received a query on how one can get rid of the cracks in the heels of your feet using natural remedies other than paying so much for medicated cream or ointment at the pharmacy. Well, it all depends on the extent of how bad the cracks are on your heels, but I'll share with you a couple of options that have worked on many, especially working mums who wear a great deal of sandal-type shoes to work and are constantly in thongs every other time we're not working. These are all remedies that were used that have been carried through the generations and still work today. But before you apply any form of remedy or medicated creams to your feet, you would need to scrub off all the dead skin cell buildup on the underneath of your feet. You'd be amazed at the thick layer that accumulates around the edges of the soles of your feet. Best way to do this is to use a pumice stone, because you would need the roughness of that stone to scrub away at the skin and especially around the cracks on your heels. Once you've done that, there are 2 suggestions in which you can try out for yourself. Try either lotioning your feet with coconut oil or olive oil. Most would use coconut oil as it's easy to obtain. With the use of a cotton ball, evenly spread a generous amount of oil on the dry areas of your feet. Some have even used vegetable oil as a cheap alternative, and it does work as well. It's best you do this before bedtime so the oil can moisturize your feet overnight. The second option of natural remedies to cure cracked heels is with the use of lemon juice. You can either apply that lemon juice directly or mix lemon juice in a small tub of warm water and soak your feet in it for 15 minutes. If you do this every day you get home, you'll see the crack on your heels disappear. You can also add a few drops of therapeutic oils in the tub as a form of relaxation. Otherwise, the medicated option is always available to you at your nearest pharmacy. Well, this is where I leave you. Remember to think healthy and live healthy and get into the routine of saving that is best suited for you. Until next week, from the House and Home crew and myself, it's good night.